Asuelu dropped huge news on 90 Day Fiance, not once but twice. Y'all, here is the scoop. Asuelu and Kalani, they're starting to finally make their relationship kind of somewhat sort of work. And then that is when Asuelu and Kalani were looking for a new car for Asuelu because he got in like a fender bender kind of a thing. And he told Kalani in front of the car sales, and by the way, Kalani, I want to have a bunch more kids. He didn't even really say like he wanted like, one more. Like he was saying he wants, more. He said he came from a family of 9 and he wants a huge family, which is great for him. Here's the issue though, y'all. Kalani basically said she is just done with having kids. It became into this big kind of a fight, awkward tension kind of a thing. It was weird. It was kind of just an unsettled, like, are they going to do it? When? And then if they do it, when are they going to do it? Kalani did kind of say she by no means wants to have another kid anytime and, soon whatsoever, but Asuelu is like ready to go. But that, y'all, wasn't really even the worst news. But the worst news is Asuelu talked to his mom, yes, the same mom who was like begging for money from Kalani and Asuelu, and she was really rude, and the same mom that kind of somewhat sort of apologized kind of on the 90 Day Fiance tell-all. Okay, Asuelu did talk to his mom on FaceTime. He even said it's been kind of awkward, it's been kind of weird ever since all that stuff went down on last season, but he goes, now, we are kind of talking, and Asuelu's mom said, listen, I'm going back very soon, and that being said, I want to come see you and Kalani and the boys. And Asuelu was just like, okay, he thought it was going to be a little bit awkward, but he was like, you know what, that's going to be fine, my mom can come over. But then she goes, but Tammy, your sister, who cannot stand Kalani and kind of even Asuelu, is gonna come with me. And that's when I was just like, are you kidding? Like, are you kidding me? There has to be some way. Now, her reasoning was, I think, like, for her to get a ride or something. It was some sort where it kind of actually made somewhat of sense why the sister Tammy, who absolutely hated Kalani, has to come with her. But the thing I'm gonna say is this: there's really no other, like, you can't, what if you guys went there or this, or there has to be some other possibility if we really do not want, Tammy and Kalani to get together again, which I'm all for. I think they should not be together. Kalani and Asuelu are kind of happy for once in their life, and they really, having Tammy around is not going to help this situation. So I'm all in favor of just, hey, Tammy, get out of here, don't come around. But apparently she's, going to. And we did get to see in the sneak peek that they do end up like celebrating Christmas together. And what do you think happens with Tammy and Kalani? They get into a huge fight, and this time, actually, Asuelu's mom gets like in the middle of it too. And I know last time she did kind of get in the middle of the fight, so she was kind of involved. But this time she was like very, 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 very involved. And I just sat there and said, really, this is a fantastic idea for the mom, and everyone's just like, why couldn't Tammy just stay home? So Kalani, Asuelu, they're doing okay, average, not great. The big news with the baby stuff, I think, it's unfortunate. He wants to have a family, which is great. She doesn't want to have a lot of kids, which is also great. It's her choice. It's both their choices. But it's like, now they got to come together and make a decision, and it probably won't be a good one. And because Kalani, I feel like, is so set in stone, if I had to guess, y'all, I think they're probably going to be done with just the 2 kids, but we're going to have to wait and see for a very long time if they have any more kids. But yeah, while we are talking about 90 Day Fiance, we got to see some pretty good more stuff on the show. We got to see Angela and Michael, and oh my god, I am like literally this far from just like never ever ever talking about this couple ever again. Like, I am just like, oh, I'm close. I can't stand these two. You know what, Michael, I'm like right there with Michael. I can't even stand him either. Angela, I cannot stand. Angela was screaming and yelling and screaming and going crazy and screaming and screaming and screaming and screaming at Michael. And, I don't know. We don't really know what the truth is. We don't really know. She apparently wanted to get a divorce. Then she met with her lawyer, Lou. Then Lou talked her out of it. Okay, well, then she ended up talking to Michael again, and Michael basically talked her in to divorcing him again. So it is just like one thing after another. My only issue with Angela is this: she can't have a normal conversation. She cannot sit down, look at someone in their face, and have a calm, normal conversation. Instead, she has to scream and shout and get mad. So I can't even stomach to watch it. She was screaming, Michael was kind of laughing, Michael was kind of egging her on. My whole thing with this is I don't know where the truth lies. I don't know. Angela was rattling off these numbers that Michael didn't talk to her for 9 weeks, and it's like, if that, see, here's the key word, if that is true, yeah, that is rude, that is weird, that is very strange. 9 weeks, you're married to a person, 9 weeks, like that seems very weird and not normal. And so, but it's like she kind of vaguely says it to a point where I'm almost kind of like, I wonder if maybe he was just being more quiet for 9 weeks, and that, it's like there's probably some truth behind some of this, but I don't think it's all true. So I don't even know what to say about Angela and Michael. Angela, she won't stop screaming, but now we can confirm, like I did last week, that they're still together, which is just ridiculous and stupid, and it makes makes me kind of wonder, it's like, was it just fake for the show? Is it fake drama? What is the deal? So I don't know. Not a fan of those two. They literally make me just like bite my nails, cringe, and they just like make me upset. I can't watch those two anymore. Very annoying. So we got to see them. We got to see Brandon and Julia. Y'all, it was hilarious. It was so funny. The scoop with them is this. Since we have met Julia like a year and a half ago, she's wanted to do one thing and one thing only. She wants to move out of the farm. Well, finally, they were talking about doing it here, then there, and they never ended up ever moving out. But finally, they finally found an apartment, signed a lease, and they showed his parents the apartment. Now, the stupid thing was, they showed them the apartment first, and they let the parents kind of, say their honest opinions. Then they told them after, hey, by the way, we signed a lease. And it was a stupid, what do you think? What do you guys think happened? Of course, Ron and Betty, just said, this place sucks, and it's awful, and the windows are too small, and this, and okay. And then after they ranted and raved how awful the place was, then finally Brandon goes, hey, by the way, we signed the lease. They didn't really care. I kind of think that, 90 Day Fiance was waiting for Betty to start crying and sobbing. They didn't seem to. They were kind of just like, oh, whatever. They didn't seem like they cared that much. I find it comical, though. I will say this, that Ron and both Betty just think that, Brandon can't pay his own bills and he can't do anything. It's like, this guy is 28 years old, maybe even 29 now. If he cannot pay his bills now, he will never be able to be, independent and responsible or anything. So I'm kind of like, you guys should be able to be more concerned. If this guy can't pay his bills, manages money at 28 years old, you guys definitely babied the guy way too much. But yeah, they signed the apartment. Julia was ecstatic. She was so happy. And I wish those two well. There is now talks about baby stuff. I don't know how true that is, because if you see Julia in present day, she's definitely not pregnant, but there's also a rumor that she might be pregnant. So I don't really know, but Brandon and Julia, they are finally about to move out. And that is the funniest part of the whole situation. They still haven't even moved out. They're going to, but they did sign the lease, so they're not, there's no turning back now. They moved out. They're going to move out. They were just like, we signed the lease, now in 2 weeks we're going to move. So hopefully nothing happens between now and 2 weeks, but we can only just, I don't even know, cross our fingers. So we got to see that. Then we got to see Yara and Joey. And I'll tell y'all what, I put on my Instagram yesterday that I think Yara and Joey are a cute couple. Lord only knows why I think that. I really don't know, because they do fight kind of a lot and they're kind of strange, and Yara does kind of nag and she's pretty negative. I don't know why I think they're cute together, but holy crap, I got a lot of rude, mean, and negative comments. Apparently no one likes Yara, which is kind of funny. I was never a fan of her at the beginning. I don't really know. I guess I kind of am. You know why I think I kind of like her now is because she does appear to be a good mom, and you might disagree with me, that's fine, but she really seems to love that kid, and I think that's always kind of sweet and cute. So I don't know why I think they're cute together. Joey came back from wherever he was working for a couple months. Yara was in tears to see him. You could see Joey. He wasn't really saying it, but to me at least, maybe I'm just living in delusion, but it seemed like he was really happy, and he was kind of oh my god, he was pretty happy to see her too. So that was kind of cute. Saw the baby, Joey's mom and dad were there. They went and seen the new place. Of course, what do you think happened? If you don't know, Yara moved away because their lease was ending in the city. She was sick of the city. She wanted to move somewhere more rural, more suburb kind of thing. And so she literally moved 45 minutes out in the middle of nowhere. And Joey, the guy that loves to party, what do you think he said? He was mad. He was furious. He was upset. Whatever. I think honestly, it's just, yeah, I have no comment. It's you know what, now Joey, you have a family. They could have compromised more and probably got something closer to the city, but why would he need to go party? I think partying is so stupid. If you're going to party when you are married with kids, I mean, hey, to each their own, but it is he did seem to party a lot. And if you got a kid, should you be partying every Friday, Saturday, every Thursday, Friday, Saturday night? Probably not. So I don't think it's the worst thing in the world for the guy. You push him a little bit away. He can still go out with his friends. It's a 30, 45 minute drive, but don't do it every weekend. Do it once a month or every other month or something. So he was kind of freaking out. He was kind of oh my god, this is so crazy. But at the end of the day, it's I don't think he really needs to party that much. So I don't think it's that bad of a deal. And yeah, now it gets kind of awkward though, because we got to see in a preview that Yara hosts a Ukrainian Christmas, and I guess after she cooked and they ate, then she tries to kick out Joey's family. I was this is really awkward and weird, so we're gonna see what goes down with that. And then we saw Tiffany and Ronald, and oh, once again, my god, these couples are awful on this season. Okay, want to know what happened? Basically, a lot of stuff actually happened. They went to the zoo. Okay, Tiffany and Ronald were kind of fighting, they were definitely having some issues going on. Then they went Christmas shopping. They were definitely fighting there. Then they went out on a one-on-one date. They were definitely fighting there. Tiffany and Ronald, all they do is fight. They fight, they fight, they fight. If you don't know, last week, I don't know how you wouldn't know, but last week Tiffany and Ronald basically went on social media and said we are done and we are getting a divorce. So they're over, it's done. I don't know how or why they end up coming back to America. I don't know how this all unfolds, but I know one thing. They can't agree on a single thing. They're a very bizarre, sad couple. Ronald kind of uses Daniel against Tiffany. It's very honestly kind of just disturbing and disgusting. That wasn't a good word. It's not, no, I don't even know how to describe it. Basically, they went to the Christmas store to go buy Christmas decorations, basically just to kind of try to entice Tiffany and Daniel to want to stay in South Africa. And then the whole time, Tiffany was trying to budget and look at prices, and Ronald was just rattling off, we'll take this and stuff that they had no business needing. They ended up spending like $600, $700 US, which is just a ton of money. And it's like, for what? They got a bunch of huge, gigantic Christmas, decorations and whatnot, and they're probably not even going to be there for Christmas now. So it's just stupid. But, Ronald was trying to kind of use Daniel against Tiffany in this weird way where he would tell Daniel, go tell your mom. And it was like this weird triangle thing that I did not like. I felt like he was kind of using Daniel. I just felt really weird. I didn't like it. And you know what? You can hate Tiffany, you can love her. Same goes to Ronald. I think I said it before. Tiffany has done things wrong. She should probably not have married Ronald. There's a lot of issues, a lot of things that were just kind of weird. I think maybe she could have tried to fight more to get him to come to America. She could have gone to South Africa. That was a big possibility. She could have just went to South Africa. Boom, problem solved. But it's like, yeah, they just had a lot of weird, I don't know, a lot of issues. I didn't like that about Tiffany and Ronald. He does weird crap too. So yeah, long story short, present day, they're not together, and we just got to see them fight. They went on a one-on-one date because Ronald's mom took the kids. They went on a date. It started off okay. Then Tiffany was, poking at Ronald. Ronald was kind of going back at her, and they were just fighting. So yeah, not a fan of those two, and I'm kind of honestly happy. Even though it sucks with the kids, I'm kind of happy that they're just hopefully going to be done, over, they can go their separate ways, and that is that. And then there was Mike and Natalie, and oh, once again, I just can't help but cringe. Where do I even begin? Long story short, Natalie had to get surgery on her nose. It happened. She was like kind of ghosting Mike. Mike was kind of ghosting her. It's the same situation as Tiffany and Ronald. Nothing is really going on besides that they're just fighting 24/7. So she went to the surgery. Then before the procedure, Mike was like kind of fighting with her. Then she ended up like running off to her friend's house. Then she went to the procedure by herself the next day. She refused to pick up the phone for Mike. She didn't call him back. He got mad. You get where I'm going with this. Finally, after her procedure, she didn't even really have a choice. He just called one of the nurses that was working with her, and then she basically just said, okay, yeah, Natalie's in this room. It wasn't like Natalie had even had like a choice if Mike could be involved or not. But at that point, I think she was just like, how would she even get home? That was like the dumbest part. They were in Seattle, so she had literally no other means to get home besides Mike. Mike was going to leave her. It was just such a weird situation. I can't even describe this, guys. Like, after she ghosted him and went to the, the hospital by herself, Mike ended up, once he discovered that, he was like, oh my God, he was so mad that she actually did ghost him and she wouldn't pick up his calls. He literally had a key to his truck and took the truck that she drove there. So she wouldn't even have had a way to get home. And then he ended up turning around, came back, he felt bad, then he ended up taking her home, he made her dinner, did all this nice stuff, and Natalie I thought was being kind of rude and ungrateful, but they're both just completely crazy and bizarre. Mike and Natalie, I don't think either of them are, and I don't care, everyone's gonna call me negative, but it's like, they're both crazy. At least Mike turned around, because if Mike would have left, Natalie wouldn't, how would she have gotten home? She would have had to have maybe, I guess she could have stayed with Juliana, maybe, I don't know. Really weird though, very, very, very weird. And we do now know, I said it before, I'll say it again, in a couple of weeks, couple of days even, they're going to finally split up on 90 Day Fiance, thank God, and just go their separate ways. And the last but not least couple who would probably benefit from a divorce, kidding, kind of, well, I don't know, kind of, and that'd be Andre and Elizabeth. They made it to Maryland, they made it to Washington. Once again, what do you think they were doing? They were fighting and fighting and fighting and fighting and fighting. Like, why can't anything good ever happen on this show? This is getting so annoying. The fighting, Angela, Mike, Ronald, and the couples, even some stuff with Yara, and then now we have Elizabeth and Andre. All they do is just scream, and it's so annoying, you guys. So they make it to Maryland. They go pull up at an Airbnb. in a, you know, big city. Parking's limited to begin with. They have street parking, but they're in a gigantically huge RV. So what do you think happens? They can't park the thing. Andre screams, the girls scream, everyone screams. They end up finding a hotel like 40 some minutes away. They go there, they stay there. The next night they end up going to, I think it was Chuck, the dad's sister, so Elizabeth's aunt, I think. They go to her house. And a couple of things I found interesting, and then we can just wrap up this whole family, because I can't stand this family. The thing I found interesting was this. When they walked in the door, Charlie and his wife were there, but they flew, because oh my god, they're a lot smarter apparently. And they flew, and they were just saying, you know, the first thing Charlie said was, hey, you know, Andre is asking for money, he's asking for a $100,000 loan, and he doesn't want to work, he doesn't want to do anything. He was just bashing the guy to his grandpa and to, you know, his aunt. And I thought that was stupid, but the one thing I found interesting was Chuck, the dad, immediately said, listen, when I came to Florida, I was at the bottom, I was at a low point in my life, and the thing is, you know, my dad gave me a loan. And I just heard that, and I was like, are you kidding me? Like, why did no one else ever mention this? The whole time Charlie kept saying, you know, Andre needs to start from the bottom and work, and I agree. I think he should start at the bottom. Go get a job. Start selling real estate. The guy's a licensed realtor. Go sell real estate. But it's like, how come we just are now hearing that Chuck's dad gave him a loan for I don't know how much money, but it's like, what? So I kind of found that to be kind of hilarious, kind of interesting. Of course, what do you think? Charlie just shut his mouth and didn't say another word after that because it was so stupid. But they were screaming, they were fighting. That was about it. The only thing I'm waiting for at this point is after they're in Maryland, they go back to Florida, and it looks like Andre and Charlie finally actually go legitimately head to head. They go at it, and they like have a little bit of a, you know, something. They got to fight. So I'm curious to see how that plays out. What'll likely happen is the camera crew and people with 90 Day Fiance will likely immediately break it up, and it probably won't go anywhere. And it looks like in present day, Andre and Charlie still absolutely hate each other, or it's completely fake. Well, guys, that was 90 Day Fiance. Phew, a lot of stuff going on, a lot of fighting. I just like am getting sick of this fighting. I can't stand this. The fighting is annoying the living crap out of me, and it's like, ugh. It is like really, yeah, it's like really annoying me. I don't know, I'm not a big fan of that fighting because every couple is like always constantly fighting 24/7 and it's just kind of annoying. But either way, y'all comment below what you thought of the episode. Hit the comments below, hit the subscribe button, hit the share button. Y'all better stay tuned for many more videos.